listening to, I say you are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
That cheer and that shout and that clapping. I like that. Thank you. You wouldn't know that it was Monday night by that introduction. My goodness gracious. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie does a fine job around here. He runs the soundboard. He is our announcer. He is a co-host. Charlie just does it all. And Charlie just doing a tremendous job, and we're so proud of Charlie, aren't we? Sure we are. Excuse me. To all our friends down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world, I welcome you to the George Espinlove Show, that comes to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. We have no idea where our world is. We just live here, and that's good enough for us. The Funny Farm is a place where fantasy and reality are intertwined, and none of us here can tell the difference. Maybe you can, but our goal is to put a smile on your face and to make you just about as crazy as the rest of us around here. And I think we're accomplishing that. Many come, few leave. Tonight, we have a guest, and you know, if you've been listening to this show for any length of time, you know we have guests from all over the world, literally all over the world. Actresses, actors, singers, songwriters, musicians, groups, ministers, judges, scientists, politicians, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. Tonight, we have a very special guest that is right here in our neck of woods in Laurel, Delaware. I'm delighted to be able to introduce to you, as soon as Charlie gets him hooked up, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. I am delighted to introduce to you our superintendent of the Laurel School District in Laurel, Delaware, Mr. John Ewald. John, thank you for being with us, and welcome to the George Espinlove Show.
Thank you, George. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's our delight, and we're privileged to have you. I thank you for taking time out of that very busy schedule.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure, George. Thank you for the invitation.
I was telling John before we went on the air, in my lifetime, I have never known a superintendent of a school district to make phone calls. but he does. Tell us about those phone calls, John, and what they consist of.
Well, George, we want to make sure that the superintendent, that I am engaging regularly with the community. And one effort to do that, one way to do that, is through something we call the Blackboard Connect Ed system. And it's a software program that allows us to contact our community by email, text, and phone to do any kind of emergency information message or just a general information. So once a week, every Friday, I send out a Superintendent's Weekly that just highlights the events of the past week, as well as highlights any future events coming up. Also, once a month, we have a Connect Ed test message, which makes sure that all of our community members are receiving the test message at the appropriate phone number. Everyone in the community knows the date and time of the event, so if they aren't getting the message, they're able to communicate with the school system directly, so we can make sure that we have the most up-to-date information in the event of an emergency or dangerous situation.
You know, the first time that excuse me, I got a phone call on my cell phone, I was riding down the road, and I guess it was, well, I'm not sure what time it was. It was getting darkish if it wasn't already dark.
Yeah.
And my cell phone rang, and I looked over at it, and it was the 875 number that I'd never seen
Right.
before.
Yeah.
And I thought, now who can that be? So I hit the button, and lo and behold, it was our superintendent. And you know,
Yeah.
I look forward. Really, I'm being honest. I look forward to receiving your calls.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great way for me to stay in touch with the community, as well as my Listen and Learn events and my Superintendent's Day in the district. I think it's very important for the superintendent and the community to be engaged with each other, and that's just one of the tools that we use to stay engaged.
I'll say amen to that.
Well, thank you, George. I appreciate it.
Could you give us a little bit of background, where you come from, so on and so forth?
Sure, of course. This is my 26th year in education. I was in the Montgomery County Public School System for 25 years. I was a very happy principal in the Montgomery County Public School Systems in Maryland, and didn't really have any plans or aspirations to become a superintendent. But I was given the ad for the superintendent of schools here in Laurel, Delaware. I did my research on Laurel, and Laurel did their research on me. And I was thankful to get an interview, and lo and behold, I was offered the position and very happily took it. My last day in Montgomery County Public Schools was September 28th, and my first day as the superintendent in schools for the Laurel School District was October 1st. And we have just been really working hard ever since then. I have a great staff, a great team. I'm fully committed to each of our students and working very closely with the Board of Education to provide the best education to all of the students in the district.
Did you find a little bit of difference between Montgomery County and Laurel, Delaware?
Well, every school system is different, whether it's Maryland to Delaware or Virginia to California. The most important thing, I think, is to get to know the people that you serve. I see myself as a servant leader, and to get to know the people I serve, that's when I began my entry plan work of getting into the community, listening to the stakeholders, the parents, the staff, student town hall meetings to hear from them. Kids are kids and parents are parents, and all of us as a community want the very best for our children. So I'm looking forward to continuing that work to stay engaged with the community. But I think all in all of us want the very best for our students, to keep them safe and secure, to provide the best education we can for them, and to make sure that they're ready to either graduate from high school and attend college, or graduate from high school and be ready for the work world of the 21st century.
Do you feel that there's a need for some kind of reform in our educational system?
With regards to anything in particular, I personally feel we do a little bit too much standardized testing, which gets in the way of teaching and learning.
Oh my God! I never thought I'd hear you say that.
Yeah, I'm a superintendent in the Delaware system, and I will comply with the expectations of the Delaware Department of Education. But I would like to see us step back a little bit from standardized testing, find other unique measures to measure teaching and learning, and really let our teachers focus on their teaching and our students focus on their learning. But of course, we do have to have an accountability measure. So it wouldn't just be no testing whatsoever. But I think some of the standardized tests that we're doing from the federal level that's expected on each of our states can really be cumbersome and get in the way of good quality teaching and learning.
Wow, I am. I'm delighted, and I'm tongue tied.
Yeah. Well, you talk about ed reform, and there are some superintendent colleagues as well as some principals and teachers. We will, of course, comply with the expectations of our state.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure that that's clear and clearly heard. But I think it would be important for us to really have the opportunity to focus on teaching and learning. We would still have to have an accountability measure, but I think some of the ones that we have in place as dictated by federal guidelines can become a little bit too cumbersome on our teachers and our students.
I have a question, because
Sure.
I come from the old school, back in the old neighborhood, back in the city.
Yep.
Tell me about the curriculum that's being taught, such as Second World War, great leaders, Henry Ford, Edison, Bell,
Right.
et cetera, Revolutionary War. Is
Right.
those things still being taught?
Well, we now, as you may be aware, and your listeners may be aware, we have something called the Common Core State Standards, and that is a way to provide what many refer to as a national curriculum. So we have a certain outcomes based on internationally based norms and high rigor expectations that each state is complying with, so that all of our students across our nation are receiving a very similar curriculum. Some of those outcomes are more specific to concepts and themes as opposed to specific dates or events. Like when you or I went to school, I'm 49, so social studies was a lot different than I was in school, whereas now, like we may not be talking about the Revolutionary War, but we may be talking about what it means to revolt and why people choose to revolt. Those are some of the different twists of the new Common Core State Standards. One of the benefits and great opportunities for the students in America is how we are able to teach them to collaborate and think for themselves and be creative. And the Common Core State Standards is a curriculum that allows all of our students to really reach a great depth of rigor with regards to mathematics, reading, language, arts, social studies, and science. So those dates and the geography and all of those other things that you and I were taught when we were in school are still important, but we want to get to a bigger overarching goal of teaching those larger themes and concepts.
I believe if we've ever needed people to think for for themselves, it's in this day and age in which we live. We need some thinkers, not stinkers. We need thinkers.
That's exactly right, and I've been doing presentations now around the community. I did my first 90 days in Laurel. I did a lot of listening and learning, and now I'm providing my vision and expectations for the Laurel School District at a variety of different meetings, like our local Lions Club, the Oddfellows Club, neighborhood chats, and our Laurel Library. And in one of the videos that I used to talk about 21st century learning, one of the things that we are working to do is to teach students how to think and how to think for themselves and how to be critical thinkers. There's nothing wrong with knowing dates, and it's important to memorize your math facts, but we also want to teach our students to be able to think and be leaders whenever they are in school as well as graduating from school.
Do we plan on using more technology in our teaching here in Laurel?
Very much so, yeah. Talk about 21st century learning. There are technologies now in school, again, like when you and I were in school, that it didn't exist. And our students are such avid technological experts. And you know that we are building a new Laurel Middle School High School complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's scheduled to be open in fall of 2014. And right behind that, we're building a new elementary school in Laurel that's scheduled to open fall 2016. Both of those schools, the middle school, high school, and the elementary school, will be opening filled with technology, and I want to make sure that they're also filled with program for our kids, a 21st century program that's going to make sure they are well prepared for the 21st century they're graduating into. And one of the things that I'm doing is not only talking to the Board of Education and developing our strategic plan, but also talking directly to our students through our student town hall meetings to get a feel for what they're looking for and what their interests are as 7th and 8th graders, as well as 4th and 5th graders, to help us as we plan our instructional program. But when those buildings do open, we expect to have a heavy presence of technology, as well as teachers effectively using that to teach instruction. You know, we can provide as many computers and Promethean boards and smart boards and tablets as any other country or state, but until our teachers know how to use it and are supported, it's not going to be effective to the kids. So along with that new building and all that new technology will also come an aligned plan for our teachers for professional development, so they can effectively use that technology for their students.
That's exciting. Makes me wish that I was.
It is exciting, isn't it? Wish we were in school, huh?
Yeah. I wished I wished I was back in school. Of course, I've said that several times.
Any time, George, you come by and visit. We'd love to give you a tour.
It's miraculous the way the technology has just moved forward. I mean, it's exploded.
Yeah, it really has.
And our
Really.
kids have every opportunity just to jump on that puppy and ride it and just gain so much wealth and information from it.
It is really an amazing thing, and it just it grows exponentially. It's amazing how fast things are moving along.
How many students do we have in the district?
We have 2,100 students in the Laurel School District. We have a total of 6 schools, 5 schools and 1 alternative school. And we look to plan for programs from pre-K to 12th grade. And as I said, I'm currently working closely with the Board of Education to develop our strategic plan, as well as continuing to stay in touch with our community. And I also want to encourage you or your listeners, feel free to join me on February 1st at the Superintendent's Day in the district. I'll be ending my day, it's January 31st. January 31st is my next Superintendent's Day in the district, and I'll be shadowing a student at Laurel Intermediate School all day to experience the Students' Day firsthand. But also I'll be ending the evening at Laurel Public Library at 7 p.m. That'll be an opportunity for me to present my vision and goals for the district, but also more importantly, or just as important, taking any questions from the community. I'm working to be as visible and accessible to the community as possible because I want to connect with our people in Laurel and make sure that we're serving them as they want to be served.
And that's going to take place January 31st?
January 31st at the Laurel Public Library at 7 p.m.
Good. We'll get something up on our site about that.
Great. That'd be great. Thank you, George.
At 7 p.m.
Yep.
Okay. Now, as long as I don't lose my note, I'll be all right.
Okay, that's good. And we'll use that ConnectEd system to remind people, as well as get it out in the local press as well, and some flyers at the library itself.
That's wonderful. Do you feel that, and I'm sure you do, that parents and grandparents should be more involved in what goes on in our schools?
Oh, very much so, George, very much so, and thank you for the question. We want, some parents are very involved, and usually parents begin to partner with their child's teacher and actively volunteer in the elementary school. And then for some reason, whenever a child gets to middle school or high school, sometimes the students may tell the parents that they want them to kind of back away and move away. But we also have a lot of challenges about getting parents into the schools. One of the reasons is because some parents work 2 or 3 jobs. Another reason is some parents are out looking for work.
Mm-hmm.
But we all, and the third is some parents need help navigating the system. Just first knowing that they are welcome in the school. They are welcome to come in and visit with the teachers. Now, of course, it's important to coordinate such visits or conferences with the teacher, because once the kids arrive, as a superintendent of schools, I expect teachers to be teaching kids. But with the same expectation, I want to make sure that my community, the parents and grandparents, are know that they're welcome in our schools, as well as the teachers want to have that partnership, whether it's at a pre-K kindergarten class or in 7th grade or in 12th grade. And another great way to be in the schools is attending the various evening events that we have, that we try to advertise throughout our community and post on the website. And again, use my ConnectEd system to remind people. And also come out to PTO meetings, to just attend a PTO meeting and let the teachers and the principal talk about the events coming up at the school. And that's a great opportunity for community members and parents to find out more about what they could be doing to volunteering. One of the things that I'm looking to do as far as my kind of service orientation is providing a back-to-school fair this year, the first Saturday before school. That'll be in August, and we'll get the final date out later. But the partnership really is going to come down to, I'd like to work with our community business leaders to provide a backpack filled with notebooks and pens and school supplies for each of our 2,100 students. Mm-hmm. And as I presented that at the Lions Club the other night, lots of very interested, willing to help people shot up their hands and shared their interest. But I did get a couple of concerned looks as to, well, can we really do that for 2,100 students? And I think that with partnering with our communities and making those opportunities known, if just 1 or 2 families or a couple, 3 businesses were able to make donations or bring book bags filled with school supplies to the school district office towards that August time period. It would really be a wonderful thing for our students and a great way for our community to celebrate itself and all the things that we can do for each other within the Laurel School District and the Laurel community.
My philosophy is, if a whole lot of us get together and do a little bit each,
you got it.
By the time we're done, we'll have a whole bunch.
That's right. That's exactly right, George. And that's where I'm thinking to make this possible. If a whole bunch of people do just a little bit, it's going to be a wonderful sight to see, and our kids will be so happy. And also, people will feel engaged and be a part of a great system that we're on the grow.
Now, if someone wants to come to the school, excuse me, parent, grandparent, whomever, what is the procedure that they should go by?
The best thing first is to contact the main office and the principal or the classroom teacher. I'm assuming it's the grandparent of a student who's enrolled in the school, and we want to make sure that there's always good communication between the parent guardian or the grandparent and the child's teacher. So that first contact is going to be a phone call to the main office, identifying the individual and letting them know that they're willing to volunteer and happy to do so. Then that call would be coordinated, and there would be a return contact as to possible volunteering opportunities. Parents, grandparents, other volunteers in the community may also always call our main office at 302-875-6100 and share their desire to volunteer. And we have people on my staff that can take down names and contact information and coordinate volunteer efforts in our schools. But for a specific school, for a specific child, the best thing is always to start with the child's teacher, and then from there, that will move to the administration, and then get a volunteer schedule organized.
Great, John. You
welcome volunteers. Yeah.
You sound like a very detailed man.
Oh well, I try to be. It's important to have the details taken care of at this level, but we also have to have the big picture to focus on as well.
You know, we live in a sad world, and our whole culture seems it's been turned upside down on its head. Mm-hmm. And in light of what took place at Sandy Hook, mm-hmm. when we went back to school here,
yes,
we had several threats.
Yes.
And of course, parents and so on and so forth were quite concerned. Some held their kids out of school, and so on and so forth. What is the best thing that parents can do when such a thing happens?
Wow. How much time do we have on the phone?
As long as you want.
Yeah. Well, I think the best. Well, that's a wonderful question filled with lots of different possible answers. Are you talking specifically about Newtown and how to deal with a child after such an incident as that, or how we can continue to work together and keep our children safe?
When we get a threat.
Yeah, when we get a threat.
And parents.
When we get
yeah, what should they do when we get a threat?
Yeah.
What should parents do?
Tell someone. When that was a terrible tragedy in Newtown, and that Friday afternoon. Actually, Friday midday, I was in communication with my principals and my district office staff. We were checking all of our perimeter doors and security, and also reminding principals to be present and visible in classrooms to check in with teachers and check in with kids. One of the most important things that I think we should do as leaders and teachers and administrators is be highly visible and accessible to our students and our parents and our community. Because the more visible and accessible we are, the more likely we are to be trusted, and the more available we'll be to hear anyone sharing threats of concern or any kind of concerns that they may have. So if a parent or if a student were to ever hear a threat, I would encourage them to share that, especially with the child's teacher and or the child's principal. That information then would be relayed to me, and we would take appropriate action to research the threat, to provide support, and to make decisions based on what we should do with regard to that threat. But the specific thing is, whenever there's a a concern, whenever there's a rumor that's out there, we want to make sure that that student or that parent or that community member feels comfortable and knows that they are highly welcome and encouraged to come into school personally, to call, to email, and say, hey, I heard this out there on the street. I wanted to make sure you were aware of it. Because when we have that kind of information, we're able to put our strategic plan in action for safety and security, and we're able to research it and take appropriate action to remedy that threat.
When you receive outside threats, is the absenteeism higher? We had that event around the Mayan calendar, and around that there were some threats of violence in the Sussex County schools. Our school, no school in the Laurel School District was identified, but there were lots of rumors out there on Facebook. And then I also thought lots of silliness where those rumors were just being spread. So in that event, we want to make sure that those threats are researched. The police departments of the various counties or school districts are informed so they can begin their investigation. And then the community is informed. As you said, we did on that day, that Friday, we did have quite a few absences. Many superintendents chose to inform their community. Just what I've told you now and your listeners is that there were threats to schools in Sussex County. We were continuing to monitor those threats, and we had a heavy police presence in the event that anything were to go wrong or happen. And we also alerted our administrative staff and teachers to be mindful of their emergency preparedness plans. Thankfully, nothing did happen. But whenever we do receive a threat like that magnifies and has some depth to it, we take it very, very seriously. I know that I was in Seaford.
Yeah.
And West Seaford had police presence. The middle school in Seaford had police presence. And then after a few days, I know they're around. It's just that they're not as visible as they was before. What's being done in our district to make our schools safer?
Mm-hmm. Well, specific to that Friday, we had police cars monitoring the schools. We had police officers in the building the morning at Laurel High School, and then police patrol cars there on the school grounds for a good part of those days. Now, specific to what we're doing now, actually this morning, George, I met with our local police chief, designee, and our fire chief in my office to review our emergency preparedness plan, to kind of begin to do a review and an audit of that plan, and to begin to develop opportunities to train and review our plans with our administrators and then our staff in our buildings, and then begin to share that plan with our community so they know what we have in place. Those emergency preparedness procedures will be available on our website sometime early in February, so the community will see what we're doing and how we're responding. We continue to monitor the perimeter doors of our schools, each of our schools. We continue to enforce a buzz-in system from the main door so that any visitor must buzz from the main entrance door before they're allowed in, identify themselves, be directed and monitored as they come to the office to sign in. And we also are during my superintendent's reports at the Board of Education meetings and through my Connect Ed calls, I'm continuing to remind the community to be patient and understand the importance of these security measures that may delay their entrance to a building. It may interrupt what may have been a past practice of coming into a building through a side door. We want all of our visitors to come through the main entrance door. But I think those are some of the things we're doing to maintain safety and security. We also are planning to, once we get the emergency preparedness plan developed and in place and rolled out, we'll be conducting appropriate drills and having ongoing training to make sure that not just our teachers, but also our students are aware of the language involved and what to do in the event of an emergency or something that could be tragic within our school district.
Are there cameras situated that you can
Yes,
see who is?
Yeah, we have cameras at that main entrance buzz-in door, so we're not just going to have somebody come up and buzz a buzzer and talk to administrative staff in the main office, but there's a camera right there at each of our schools, the main entrance doors, so that the administrator or secretary in the main office will not only hear but also see the person that they're about to let in. All of our secretarial staff and administrators have been directed that basically if someone comes to the door, ask them to state their name, ask them to state their business, and then if it's appropriate, buzz them to come in, direct them to the office. In the office, they'll sign in, be greeted by the secretarial staff or the administrator, and then be allowed to go visit a teacher or take care of whatever the business they have there. In the event that the identification is not appropriate or if it's not substantial, then that visitor will not be buzzed in and will be called over district office to take appropriate action. And I also want to commend our Laurel Town Police and our Laurel Town Fire Company. They've been wonderful partners since I arrived in October, and now with the tragedy that had happened in Newtown, that's really increased everyone's awareness of the need for safety and security and regular monitoring. They've just been fantastic in ways that they can continue to partner with us and support keeping our school district safe and secure.
Is there plans? Excuse me, with the debate of gun control, this gun control, that, so on and so forth. You know, when the bad guy comes, you can't wave a bill, a piece of paper in his face and say, you know, this is against the law. He just a crazed killer anyhow. Is there any thought of or any discussion of any armed personnel in our schools?
We have not discussed that in the Laurel School District. We are not currently discussing that in the state of Delaware. There are some superintendents, including myself, who's meeting with the governor in late January to talk about school safety and security, just to discuss and share our ideas. But through those discussions so far, we have not discussed any type of arming of staff. We have had discussions about school resource officers, which again, I think when you and I were in school, George, we had no such thing. But a school resource officer is could be a local police, county or district or town officer who is assigned to a secondary school or possibly an elementary school to be on site and build relationships with kids and also be another security presence. So right now, specific to the Laurel School District, we have not had any discussions to that effect, but those discussions are beginning to occur throughout the state.
I say this as a compliment, John.
Yeah.
If everyone that talks about what you just said, the way that your demeanor is, I think something will be accomplished.
Well, thank you, George.
Right now, I hear noise. You know, this side battering, this side, so on and so forth. I hear noise, and no one can get anything accomplished when it's noisy.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Well, you know, I think, the Monday after the tragedy in Newtown, I met with all of my administrators, guidance counselors, psychologists, and basically non-classroom-based staff at 7 a.m. And we all just made sure that we were focused on the right thing, and that was our kids. And as I've talked with my board is focused on our kids. And as I talk to our community is focused on our kids. And I think as long as we keep our students at the forefront, hopefully that'll keep that noise away and help us really have good, meaningful discussions to make the right decision, whatever that decision may be, to make sure that our students are always safe and secure.
Yeah, we don't need noise. We need answers.
Yeah.
What, I thought I was having a senior moment there. Metal detectors. Any talk of metal detectors in the schools?
We've had no talk of metal detectors here in our school district. I haven't been aware of any in the state of Delaware. I know that there are some school systems throughout the nation that have those in place. At this time, that's not something that has been discussed.
It's a shame that we've come to this point.
Yeah, it really is. But I think, like you were talking about, having a calm demeanor to really talk about these things, regardless of if it's me or if it's you or if it's a community member. I think it's very important for us to really think thoroughly about what's in the best interest of our students and what's the most appropriate action to take, and just continue to keep that communication going. Because, right now we're talking about the Newtown tragedy that involved guns, and hopefully we will not be talking about some other tragedy in May or June that may involve some other type of weapon. The most important thing is, I think, to regularly train and practice our emergency preparedness procedures to make sure our community is informed and encourage people to ask questions and talk to each other.
So when you get your contingency plan all set up, then there'll be lockdown drills and so on and so forth.
That's exactly right, yes. And to the extent that's appropriate, that will be shared on our website.
Mm-hmm.
During our regularly scheduled PTO meetings at schools, that information will be shared with parents, and then those drills will be practiced throughout the rest of this year. I had the strange opportunity of coming a little bit late to this school year, but then next year we'll have a full opening to closing schedule of practicing those drills. But we look to get that into place and begin practicing drills in February of this year.
Is the involvement amongst of parents and grandparents and guardians and so on and so forth, is it good in our community?
Oh, yeah, I think, what, George, we have a wonderful community in the Laurel School District that has a great sense of commitment, and it's great. It is just wonderful to see so many parents and grandparents out at our winter concerts, our winter chorus shows, but I would always love, and I think I can always hope, for additional parent and grandparent support at events, whether it's coming out to a superintendent's event, coming out to a PTO meeting, coming out to help with the back-to-school fair in August. I think we can always model volunteerism for our students by being present at such events and being engaged, because our students look to see how our parents and grandparents get involved in the school district and in the community. But I think, compared to other school districts, we're doing good. I think we can always do better, and our volunteers are always welcome in our schools.
Excuse me. The 30 years that I've lived here,
Mm-hmm.
I have always been impressed by the turnouts, such as the concerts and so on and so forth.
It's really something.
What's always amazed me, and I don't know why, of course it doesn't take much to amaze me, but when I go to the concerts, such as the middle school,
Mm-hmm.
it amazes me how those kids can start school in September and choose a certain instrument that they're going to play.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you go to the concert, and it looks like they've been playing for years.
That's right, and they actually sound good, don't they?
Yes, they do.
That is wonderful. Well, we have a great chorus director and band director, very hardworking kids. And again, sometimes the parents or grandparents might not be in school helping to volunteer, but they're at home helping to do homework and helping to make sure that our musicians practice those instruments. And those are, it's not only a great event to see all the parents coming out and the grandparents, but it's also wonderful, like you said, George, we're really hearing some fantastic music from our kids.
Yeah, we have a pretty tight community when it comes to our
Yes,
schools.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. And I look forward to appropriately take advantage of it to serve our students.
I think some of the questions that's been asked to you tonight
Mm-hmm.
are questions that are no doubt being asked across the nation,
Mm-hmm.
particularly when it comes to our school safety.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to share with others that's outside of our district, or any advice to our parents and grandparents and guardians here in our district when it comes to anything?
Well, George, again, thank you for the question. It's been a wonderful opportunity to talk with you this evening and your listeners to me, George, the most important thing is to be engaged, to show up at meetings, to ask questions, to communicate with your child's your child or grandchild's teacher, principal, superintendent. We're here to serve our community, and I want to make sure that our community is aware of that. And to me, the most important thing is the theme of just staying engaged and not hesitating to ask questions, to share concerns. I work to be highly visible at events in our district, and it's not just so people can say, oh, there he is, or I can check it off a list. I want to be highly visible so I can be accessible to people. So when I'm out at an event or a basketball game, football game, or whatever it is, I don't only want to hear my students perform and see the number of parents out, but I want the parents and community to feel comfortable coming up to me to ask a question or share a concern. So I think the best way for me to answer your question, George, is just to be engaged, to talk to the school staff, and to be an active part of the community.
I like that. Be engaged.
That's right. That's what it's all about. And it's really been a pleasure.
For some of the listeners, before we let you go,
sure.
Excuse me. What does the Board of Education do?
Well, the Board of Education governs the school system, and the superintendent runs it. One of the ways to look at it is the board owns the restaurant, but the superintendent manages the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as policy, as far as regulations, that's the Board of Education. But as far as the day-to-day operations, how will we revise our emergency preparedness plans, how is our curriculum going, that's the job of the superintendent.
When does the Board of Education have their meetings, and who can go to them?
Anyone can come to a Board of Education meeting. I highly encourage our community to attend Board of Education meetings. Our meetings are currently held once a month on Wednesdays. Our next board meeting is this Wednesday, January 16th. I encourage your listeners or you to come out. I'll be sharing the results of my entry plan data, talking about a little bit about the vision for the school system. And then after that, the next board meeting in February is February 20th. But basically, our board meetings currently are held once a month on the third Wednesday of each month. They are held in the Media Center of Laurel High School, and the meeting is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. All members of the community may attend. There is an opportunity at the beginning of the meeting, at the beginning of each of our monthly Board of Education meetings, for what's called community participation, and that's where a community member could come and share a concern, could share a praise, could ask a question. But it's important to note that that question may not be directly responded to because it is a meeting setup. But either Board of Education staff or district office staff will note that question and be sure to get back to the public participant who may ask it. And then the rest of the meeting, community members are welcome to attend, to be present, to hear information. And then, like I said, those meetings are once a month on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. in the Media Center of Laurel High School. And I encourage people to come out. And again, I also encourage people to join me on January 31st at the Laurel Public Library at 7 p.m. We'll be getting out some flyers and some Connect-Ed messages to remind people of that event, but that'll be another way for our community to stop by and ask me any questions, but also for me to present some information about my vision for the Laurel School District. And this will be one of many events where I'll be doing it.
This is just absolutely wonderful. I get that.
Well, thank you, George. I've had a really great time.
I get that warm, fuzzy feeling. You know, my whole goal when I invited you on the show, was to introduce you to people that perhaps don't know.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for doing that.
And to kind of get us all on the same page and kind of bind us together. And although we have a tight community, make us even tighter.
I'm with you, George, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be with you and join you tonight and be engaged with the listeners. And I encourage you to feel free to call me again. I'd be happy to come back.
Oh, we'd love to have you. Maybe we could make this a periodic thing here every now and then.
I would be happy to do that. We could make it an ongoing thing. That'd be great.
Good, and we'll make it a point to do that.
All right, George.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and have a great evening and a Happy New Year to you.
You too.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. Now, wasn't that pleasant? That was just simply wonderful. I'll be back in about 30 seconds or so. Now you can tap your feet, snap your fingers, bob your head, and shake your booty.
Drinking love, feel rain.
Bottle of Blues by the Rocket Reducers. Hey, we want to thank our friends down there at musicalley.com. We go down there, or Charlie goes down there, I should say, because he's the producer and soundboard operator, and he's just a big huckamucka around here. That's all it is. But Charlie goes down to musicalley.com, and down there, you're going to have to forgive me because this cold that I got just will not go away. Charlie goes down to musicalley.com, and he signs in because he's the producer. He signs in under the producer dooflicky thingamajig there. He got him a screen name and a password and all that. And he goes in and he gets his music from musicalley.com. And what he does is a lot of times he'll upload it to his board. And then other times, like he's got us hooked up tonight, he just plays it directly. He plays it live from Music Alley. And it goes to the board and then out to y'all out there, wherever you might be. And then what Charlie does is the next day, he goes back to musicalley.com. Now, correct me, Charlie, if I get something wrong. He goes back to musicalley.com, and he puts up the name of the show, the date, and when this song was played, when he used the song. Then what Music Alley does is they go to the songwriter or the group or whomever it might be and inform them that the George Espinlab Show played their music. And then they contact us a lot of times and say, thank you, please continue to play our music, and on and on and on. That's how it works. I said all that to say this. If you are a broadcaster, go to musicalley.com. Sign in under the producer. You have to register and all that stuff like you always do. And then go in there. You will find that is one fantastic website, musicalley.com. If Charlie uses it, then I know y'all can use it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Well, anyhow, Charlie's got us hooked up. And Charlie is over there. Here's what Charlie does. Charlie wiggles his finger. It's his index finger. Well, it's his index nail on his right paw. I didn't tell you, if you're listening for the first time, that Charlie is a wiener dog. Yes. Don't laugh. I mean, don't look at me and laugh like that. Boys, you people are slow sometimes, I'm telling you. You just... Then when you do get it, you just kind of go to extremes. But anyhow, Charlie is a wiener dog. He's real. He has a voice. Of course, you heard him. He's the announcer at the beginning of the show. He does his own shows sometimes. He sings. He gets in trouble and all that kind of stuff. So Charlie is a real person. Remember, we live in our world. And in our world, everyone has a voice. Even Charlie. Charlie is very, very important to us. I have to play my song. I mean, I just have to. You know what I'm saying? If you've never heard my song, you are about to hear it right now. It's this one.
Here we are at my favorite place, where they make sandwiches as you order them. It's a sandwich song, sing along. Sandwiches for everyone. The hardest part of making it's deciding on ingredients. I wish I could make up my mind.
Yeah, hurry up, I'm hungry, come on.
But they got white or wheat or rye or pumpernickel, whole wheat, half wheat, 12 grain or pumpernickel, Italian, French loaf, gluten-free, pumpernickel, crust on, crust off, crust on, crust off the sandwich. It's sandwich song, sing along. Sandwiches for everyone. The hardest part of making it, deciding on ingredients. I wish I could make up my mind.
Just order something.
But I want brown mustard, yellow mustard, ranch, oil, and vinegar, 2 kinds of mayonnaise, olives, and banana peppers, peanut butter, cucumbers, pickled, and Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, crust on, crust off, crust on, crust off the sandwich. It's a sandwich song, sing along. Sandwich is for everyone. The hardest part of making it's deciding on ingredients. I wish I could make up my mind.
Oh, look at all the cheese.
I like Swiss cheese, provolone, pepper jack, American, mozzarella, sharp cheddar, gotta have ricotta, string cheese. Yes, please melt a little Gouda. Gouda. Crust on, crust off, crust on, crust off the sandwich. It's sandwich song, sing along. Sandwich is for everyone. Hardest part of making it's deciding on ingredients. I wish I could make up my mind.
You know, you are really irritating.
Hey, what about meat?
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, too bad. They got turkey, ham, meatballs, bologna, salami, roast beef, tuna fish, chicken, and pastrami. Bacon, 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 bacon. And for people like you, try the teriyaki tofu. Crust on, crust off, crust on, crust off the sandwich. It's a sandwich song, sing along. Sandwich is for everyone. The hardest part of making it's deciding on ingredients. I wish I could make up my mind.
Hey, did you bring any money?
I got 50 cents.
Let's go get a gas station corn dog.
Okay.
You gotta love the blues, you know what I'm saying? I bet you think this is never going to be over. Trust me. Oh, I just love the blues, I'm telling you. You know, this is the kind of music that you turn out the lights, you put on your sunglasses, you know what I'm saying? Turn out the lights. Don't laugh. You turn out the lights, you put on the sunglasses. You put the headphones on, and you turn it up. And you pump it straight in. And then you just get in a groove. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Yes, indeedy. I want you to know, you are listening to the George Espinlove Show. Coming to you live from the Funny Farm. A place where fantasy and reality are intertwined. We can't tell the difference. We live in a place called our world. We don't have a mailing address. We don't even have a mailbox. We just live here, and that's good enough for us. To all of our friends down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world, we welcome you. Our many, many thanks to Mr. John Ewald, whom is our Laurel School District Superintendent, and he took time out of his very busy schedule to come and talk to us about our school district. It's relevant for every school district across this nation because many of us are asking the same question. What can we do to make sure that our schools are safe? Mr. Ewald has been in the district since October, and he is doing one fantastic job. He's a detailed man with a great demeanor, and I think he's going to do our school district well. I do want to say this. I am under the firm belief that wherever you are, every talk show host that's on the Spreaker network or Blog Talk or PWR or wherever you are, every terrestrial station, every talk radio show host should be making contact with their school district superintendents, the board members of education, law enforcement, anyone that has anything to do with the school district where your kids go, and put them on your show. Trust me, they will be delighted to come on your show and talk to you and to your listeners about the things that are very important to you. What's important to us here in Laurel, Delaware, when it comes to school safety is just as important to you that are in Oakland, California, or Seattle, Washington, anywhere, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, wherever the kids are, wherever the schools are. So, if you haven't thought about doing that, please, just take the time, sit down for a few minutes, think about it, and then just go contact someone. You will find that they are more than willing to come and be part of your show. It's great for the community. It's great for your listeners. It's great for everyone all the way around. Wow. Tomorrow night, we will have Dr. Joy. I always want to call her Dr. Joyce. Dr. Joy Jeffries Pugh, whom is an author. She is a songwriter. She's written what I call some heavy stuff. She's written some heavy stuff in the books. Excuse me. And it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be thought-provoking. That's what we like around here. Thought-provoking. It's going to put you on the edge of your seat. and I know you will enjoy her. So tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. Tune into the George Espinlab Show, and we will have Dr. Joy Jeffries Pugh with us, and I know that you will enjoy her. On Wednesday night, am I getting my days mixed up? Monday, Tuesday, no. On Wednesday night, Jim Mellis out of New York City will be with us. He is a comedian, and he has worked with some of the best. Richard Pryor, and some of the big names. I just put it there, and we'll put some information up on our page so you can see. Excuse me. He's a funny fella. He'll be with us on Wednesday night. And I want to make this special announcement. Charlie doesn't even know this, and he's just going to do backflips and Charlie, you better get the mop real quick and stand it beside you, because I know what's going to happen when I tell you this. You're going to get all excited. Maria Danes, we play her music on here a whole bunch much. That's not good English, but we play it a whole bunch much. That means we play a whole bunch of it a whole bunch of times. Maria Danes, who is an international blues rock singer, jazz, you name it, this lady can sing it. And she's an international star. Maria Danes' band, her husband Paul Killington, and we made contact with her again yesterday, and she emailed me back almost immediately. And they're out of the UK. They live in England. Emailed me back and said that they are checking their dates, and they will appear on the George Espinlab Show. And Charlie's doing backflips, and yep. Excuse me. That is going to be one terrific show. Yep, get them up, Charlie, because you got so excited and you did that, Yeah. Well, get them up real quick. Okay. But anyhow, Maria Danes, Paul Killington is going to be with us as soon as we find the date. We have some other musicians that's going to be on with us, some songwriters. We have some very interesting people, just like we did last year, just like we do now, from people from all walks of life all around the world. I want to tell you this. I want to remind you, we had Rick Baker on here one day last week. I can't remember what day it was, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere around there, who wrote the book about the McStay family out of California that's been missing. It'll be 3 years, February 4th. And he wrote the book, The Mysterious Disappearance of the McStay Family. No Goodbyes is the title of it. It's coming out on the 4th, the third anniversary of their disappearance. You have been going into the archives, and I'm telling you, people are listening to that show. They are listening to that show. Do yourself a favor. On February 4th, go to Amazon.com, go to rickbakershow.com, go to Barnes & Noble, go to any one of those places, and purchase his book, No Goodbyes, The Mysterious Disappearance of the McStay Family. It is very, very intriguing. It's true. Men and women are aware of it around the globe. And people are wondering what really happened to the McStay family. He has researched it. He was with us. Listen to the show. Rick Baker and the Mysterious Disappearance of the McStay Family. He has researched it extensively. He has interviewed the closest people to the family, and you will be spellbound as you sit down and read the book. No Goodbyes, The Mysterious Disappearance of the McStay Family. I think it will hook you, and I think you will have a great, great time. Charlie, he's jumping up and down. Did you get it clean? Yeah, he did. Charlie gets like that, sometimes when he gets all excited, and he can't help it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll take you from where take you from where you are to where you wanna be. 'Cause radio works. Radio works.
And it does work. And radio is fun. And all the years, in all the places that I did it, it's still just as much fun today as it was then. I'll tell you what, the technology is a whole lot better today than it was then, but it is fun. And radio works. Trust me, radio works. Thank you for tuning into our show. Thank you, Charlie.
Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same.
And I'll be right back after this. And you're listening to the George Espinlove Show. We're back. It's been a delight tonight because we had our own Laurel School District Superintendent, Mr. John Ewald, with us, and I sure do appreciate him taking the time out of a very busy schedule. I think things are just going to be pretty good with Mr. Ewald at the helm as he steers our educational system onward and upward, forward and tut-tut and all those things. You know what I'm saying? I think, I don't know. I get like this sometimes. It's good to be me. Hey, we'll play most anything on the George Espinlab Show. Jazz, rock, alternative rock, blues rock, gospel music. I mean, we'll play just about any kind of genre. Is that how you say the word? Genre? I always want to say genre. But anyhow, we'll play any of them. We'll play any of them things that's out there. And you just never know. I never know. It's totally up to Charlie. He's over there pushing buttons and wiggling his finger and dancing and jumping around. Of course, we all do the same thing here at the Funny Farm. I want to wish Mary Burge a very happy birthday. I can't remember if it was yesterday or today. But anyhow, Mary Burge, happy birthday. We call her Tidy. T-I-D-Y. T-I-D-Y. I haven't seen her for a number of years, but I'm sure they still call her Tidy. And they call her that because she is so tidy. I mean, everything in her house had to be just in a proper place, and this, that, those, these, and, just one of them eccentric people, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, happy birthday to Tidy. And I still can't. I still can't. I try. I can't figure that happy birthday stuff out on Facebook. I get in there, and it takes me someplace, and I don't know how to get back. And then I get mad at it, and I talk to it, and I still get stuck. I don't know. So listen, I just remembered that off the top of my head, and I got it. When something comes to me, I got to get it out quick because it's not going to stay there too long. Anyone that has had a birthday this month, happy birthday. You want me to sing to you? What do you think? Anybody want me to sing? Oh, boy.
Oi, 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 oi,
Oh, dude got it bad. Hey, let's do something. I want to thank everyone for your emails. I thank you for your kind words and all the interest that you're showing in the show. Okay, anyhow. That must be a double whatever it's called. Anyway. Anyway, I want to thank you for showing interest in the show. Just keep them emails coming. George C.E. at Comcast.net. George C.E. at Comcast.net. Just keep them coming. They are an encouragement to every one of us that's around here, this Funny Farm bunch, and we just love it. And we'll answer every one of them. Trust me, we will answer each and every email that you send us in one way, shape, or form. Ask us any question that you might, and we will be glad to answer it. Someone asked me a question, in fact, several times I've had some emails that's asked me if Charlie is for real. Yes, Charlie is for real. Trust me, he is for real. He's just as real as I am. And, well, we won't go there. You know what I'm saying? We just won't go here. Let's get down to the playground. What do you say?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sitting at the seat, staring out the window. If that bell would ring, then outside we would go. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground. We can dance down to the playground where we can run around. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground and have fun on the playground where we can run around. I want you to push me on the swing, slide me down the slide, or see me on the song. We don't want to go back inside. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground. We can dance down to the playground where we can run around. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground and have fun on the playground where we can run around. Here we go. Hanging from the monkey bars. Is the best part of my day so far. Tack me on the back, jump over the rope, duck, goose. Do you wanna go back inside? No. Do you wanna go back inside? No. Do you wanna go back inside? We want to stay on the playground, want to play on the playground, play all day on the playground. We don't wanna go back inside. We want to stay on the playground, want to play on the playground, play all day on the playground. We don't wanna go back inside. No, we
Let's all go down to the playground. Da-de-da-de-doo-doop, boop, boop, boop. Hey, there's my friend Jen. She's in the chat room. And good evening to you, Jen, all the way out there in Ohio. She is a good friend. I hope Mr. Turtle is all right, and I hope the hermit crabs are okay. And the next time that you make breakfast, would you please let me know a couple hours ahead of time, and I'll do my best to get there. I really will. Won't you crack up if someday I just drop in, knock on your door, and say, "Hey, Jen, when do we eat?" But first, we have to go to Sheets's and get a cup of coffee, right? Oh yeah. She's a good friend. What was I going to say? Hey, we've got some plans. We're still working on our name, rank, and serial number segment that we're going to start that will honor our servicemen, past and present. And we are going to do some mobile shows. There are some people. Yes, Mr. Turtle is okay, and hermit crabs. Great. I'm glad to hear it. Keep feeding them the raisins, and they'll be all right. We are going to do some mobile shows. And there are there's some great musicians that are out there. And we're going to do some mobile shows from some of their places of performance. We can sit down and talk to them right there on the site and all that good stuff. So we got a lot of things planned here at the George Espinlove Show. We're going to stay crazy as ever. We don't want to change that. We have some very, very good guests. That's about the only time we're serious around here is when we have our guests, and we have one of those every single night. Sometimes we have two. Friday nights, you never know what's going to happen around here. So just tune in every single night. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your in-laws, your outlaws, anyone that'll listen to you. Tell those people who won't listen to you too. So just tell them to tune into the George Espinlove Show. The little hermit crab is sleeping on my laptop. Well, I can't say that I've ever seen anything like that before. A hermit crab sleeping on Jen's laptop. Wow, that must be something else. What'd you say, Charlie? Yeah, Charlie gonna do it again. When he gets happy like that, he gonna do it again. Watch him. Here it comes. We're going there again. Let's go down to the playground.
Sitting at the seat, staring out the window. If that bell would ring, then outside we would go. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground. We can dance down to the playground where we can run around. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground and have fun on the playground where we can run around. I want you to push me on the swing, slide me down the slide, or see me on the song.
Come on, everybody clap your hands.
Go to the playground, let's all run to the playground. We can dance down to the playground where we can run around. It's time to go to the playground. Let's all run to the playground and have fun on the playground where we can run around. Here we go. Hanging from the monkey bar. Is the best part of my day so far. Tack me on the back. Jump over the rope. Duck, goose. Do you want to go back inside? No. Do you want to go back inside? No. Do you want to go back inside? We want to stay on the playground. Want to play on the playground. Play all day on the playground. We don't want to go back inside. We want to stay on the playground. Want to play on the playground. Play all day on the playground. We don't want to go back inside. No, we don't want to go back inside. No, we don't want to go back inside.
go, Charlie. Espinlab, you're not right. Uh-oh, here he is again. Look out. Wow. Hey, let's do something. Seriously, let's do something. Here's my email again. George C.E. at Comcast.net. George C.E. at Comcast.net. Let's do something. Let's give this dude a name. You know, the coffer guy. I call him the coffer guy. Coffer dude. Let's give him a name. Submit your names for coffer dude. You know, this dude here. Remember, give him a name. Oh, yeah. Really? Oh, I love it. I love it. Let's give him a name. Come on, submit some things. Give him a name. Jen said that could be his name. You mean? Wait a minute. What about Fred? Okay, what about Fred? That could be his name. Okay, we've got Fred. Who else? Who else is in the mix? George C.E. at Comcast.net, or jump into the what's that thing? The padded room. I mean the chat room where Jen's at. Jump into the padded. I mean the chat room. I keep getting them mixed up. Where Jen's at, and suggest the name. Yeah, it could be Fred. Okay, so far we have Fred. Now let's see what else she say. That could be his name though. Or even better, what about Freddie? Okay, let's see if he fits. Like he looks like a Freddie, or he sounds like a Freddie. Yeah, Jen said it's a padded cell, all right, or a padded room, all right. Let's see if does this dude sound like a Freddie? All right, I'm writing it down. We got Freddie. All right, so email me, George C.E. at Comcast.net, and submit your name. Thus far, we have Freddie and Jen, who is in the padded room. I mean, in the chat room, has given us the name Freddie for the coffin dude. I like that. LOL. It's a padded room, all right. Oh, my friend Jen out of Ohio. My goodness gracious sakes alive. She always lightens up the place when she comes in. Where am I at? What was I going to do next? Man, I sound about like Coffin Dude. That playground song, old Charlie, he just ate that up. He just doing backflips and all that kind of stuff. On a more serious note, I don't want to be serious right now. Yeah, I do. I want to be serious just for a minute here, just for a second. I want to thank Mr. Johnny Ewald. I'll get it. Mr. John Ewald for being with us tonight. Our superintendent here in the Laurel School District. He was so gracious to come on and take time out of his busy schedule. We had a delightful time tonight, And we're going to do this periodically. We're going to bring Mr. Ewald back, and he's going to keep us posted. And what we talked about tonight is relevant for every school district across this nation. And I thank him so much that he would take the time to come and be with us. Tomorrow night, Dr. Joy Jeffries Pugh. You know how I handle them names, especially when there's 3 or 4 of them like that. Dr. Joy Jeffries Pugh, an author, a songwriter. She writes some heavy stuff. I'm telling you, she writes some heavy stuff, so you don't want to miss it. Tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. On Wednesday, we're going to have the comedian Mr. Jim Mellis here out of New York City. Look, I listened to some of his stuff. This guy is, okay, Jen, okay. She's got to go clean the fish tank. Yes, keep the fish tank clean. Jim Mellis out of New York City. I've listened to some of his stuff. He is funny. I mean, he makes fun of his life in general. So tune in on Wednesday night. We are going to have Maria Danes on soon. They are checking their date in their schedule. Maria Danes and her husband Paul Killington out of the UK. They are an international group. Man, can this gal sing? Blues rock, jazz rock. I mean, she just flat out gets it done. In fact, let me see if I could go back here a second. And Charlie, can you find that for me? Yeah, if you will. Okay, all right. Well, sure, that'll work. I don't know. Just pick you one, Charlie. You know best. And it's spinning. Nod your head. Stomp your left foot when it's all done, and then you can push that button and take off. Oh, watch pot never boils, does it? Hey, we had a blast in Harry B's chat room, the Swinging 60s, yesterday afternoon. My goodness. You want some good entertainment and have a lot of fun? Come to Spreaker.com. Up there in the little search box, just type in the Swinging 60s, and then come and go to Harry's chat room. I mean, we just have a ball in there. That's all there is to it. This is her, Maria Danes, out of the UK, an international star. They'll be with us.
boiling mad.
Boiling Mad by Maria Danes out of the UK. Oh my. And they're going to be on the show as soon as we pick a date. They're working on it for me even as we, well, maybe not even as we speak, because there's 5 hours difference. So that means that it's 1:19 a.m. where they are at in the UK. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for another great show. Boy, we had fun tonight. We really had fun. To all you that are listening to the George Espinlaub Show, down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world, I want you to know, if you don't know by now, maybe you're listening for the first time, but I want you to know, we care about people. We really do. Oh, we act squirrely. Can't be serious for more than 30 seconds sometimes. But we're straight when our guests are here. We're just as goofy as the day is long, but believe it or not, we really care about people. Email us, georgece@comcast.net, georgece@comcast.net. Follow me on Twitter, @PopPopX7. That's @PopPopX7. Look me up on Facebook. Go to our Facebook radio page. Go to our blog, theespinblog.com. You can hook up with us in 6 different ways from last week. So hook up with us. Follow me on Twitter. I have no idea where I'm going, but we'll go somewhere. I'll follow somebody that's following somebody, and you can follow me, and we'll follow all of them. You got that right? Okay. Hey, listen to me. If it's nighttime where you're at, you have a great night. If it's already tomorrow, you have a great day. And to all my friends everywhere, down the street, around the corner, across the nation, and around the world, until tomorrow night, same time, same station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. Tune in for another George Espinlaub show. I hope we brought a smile to your face. I hope we gave you some information with some inspiration. And until tomorrow night, this is George Espinlaub saying good night, and God bless you real good.